Record. Okay, so I am pumped to talk with you all about Team Cup again. So we had a team call several weeks back about kind of the logistics of Team Cup and what Team Cup is so that you could decide if you wanted to participate. So this call specifically is only for those of us that have decided to compete in Team Cup, which is a lot of us. We have 3 full teams of 5, so there's 15 of us all together. And so it's going to kind of be more strategy talk, pretty much like some ideas for you to utilize as you progress throughout Team Cup. But just know that the team captain of your team will be creating either a Facebook group or a Facebook message thread. Some of our team captains already have. If you're on my team, I have not done that yet. I've been out of town all weekend, but I'm gonna get that done first thing tomorrow. And your specific strategy moving forward as far as your team is concerned will be discussed within those sort of smaller pods. So just kind of keep that in mind. What we're going to go over today is kind of team-wise, some things that you can kind of implement and keep in mind moving forward to stay engaged and plugged in with your specific Team Cup team. So let me share my screen with everybody. Okay, so Team Cup strategy call. So first and foremost, I just kind of want to reiterate the value that Team Cup can, will, and should have on your business. So it's so much more than just a free-for-all Success Club point war. I mean, yes, that is how you win prizes and that is how you win Team Cup essentially, but the momentum and the push that it's going to give you for your business, for your team, just moving forward in general is going to be insane and crazy and amazing as long as you put in the work that you need to get to that point. So I shared a couple success stories as far as Team Cup is concerned with like, for example, Melanie Mitro advanced her business from an Emerald to a 1-star during Team Cup. It's the month where coaches hit their highest Success Club numbers, but not only that, it's also the month that really kind of sets the bar for your business moving forward. It gives you confidence and belief within yourself to show your own self what you're capable of. Maybe you're a new coach and you look at coaches who have been in the business a little bit longer, or even some of the top 10 or elite coaches, and you think, well, yeah, it must be easy for them because they have a lot of followers, or it must be easy for them because they have been in the business longer. Team Cup will allow you to kind of cultivate that belief within yourself and within your team to hit those big Success Club numbers and to help more people and to grow your team of coaches faster. So I want you to really kind of go into Team Cup with that mindset of using it as kind of a catapult for your business. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of just brush over really quickly are the prizes and the rewards that you personally and your team can win during Team Cup. So hopefully you've checked out the Team Beachbody Team Cup website and know that if you alone hit Success Club for the month of February, you win this really awesome umbrella. If everybody on your team hits Success Club in the month of February, then you get this really cool thermal, long sleeve thermal. You also get an exclusive summit workout with a celebrity trainer and a photo op. So that's really awesome. All that you have to do to win that team reward is all 5 people on your team have to hit Success Club 5. That's it. And then the top regional team award over here is a VIP Summit experience. So we kind of talked in our team call a couple weeks ago when we talked about Team Cup, how the United States is broken up into specific regions. Somebody's not.
It doesn't have one.
Okay, there we go. How most of us on these Team Cup teams are going to be in the central region. So if you are the top regional team, you don't even have to be the top team out of the US and Canada and the UK, but just your top regional team, you get reserved floor seating for 2 at all of the general sessions and celebrations, which is crazy because only the elite coaches have floor seating at Summit. You get onstage recognition, Hall of Fame recognition, access to for 2 to the Leadership Ladder and Success Club parties. You get a ribbon at Summit. You get top regional Team Summit apparel. Plus, you get the thermal and the workout with the celebrity trainer and the umbrella. So how you win this is all 5 of your team members obviously qualify for Success Club 5, and then you have to be one of the top 2 Team Cup point earning teams for your region. So you can check out the Team Cup website to kind of go over that. This is something that I want you to think about going into Team Cup. I want you to kind of picture a before picture, right? We talk about before pictures, or some coaches like to call them your goodbye pictures, sort of a picture or something that symbolizes where you are at before embarking on a journey. And I want us to really think about our business in terms of a before picture. So think about like a screenshot of your business right now. How are you feeling about your business? Do you feel intimidated? Do you feel motivated? Do you feel scared? Do you feel like whatever sort of feelings you're feeling about your business at this point, how are you feeling? I want you to think about what rank you are. I want you to think about the highest number of Success Club points that you've ever gotten in 1 month. Anything about your business that you feel like really describes your business right now, I want you to think about it. I want you to write these things down. You don't have to make a pretty graphic for it or anything. Just write them down, write down a list of things. And I want you to use that before business screenshot as sort of a way for you to dictate and determine what goals you want to set for the month. So we are going to have team-wide goals, and then you're probably going to have specific goals that your personal Team Cup team will be setting in your Facebook group page. But for you personally, what do you want February, at the end of February, what do you want your after business screenshot to look like? How do you want your feelings about your business to change? Do you want to advance in rank? How many people do you want to help, which is going to correlate to Success Club points? What do you want to get out of this month? I want you to think about that. These are just a breakdown of our teams, just to kind of remind you all that this is a team effort. So we have team, I can't say Buns and Guns without laughing. It's so cute. Buns and Guns with team captain Kyla, and then Kenna, Elaine, Allison, and Tracy are on that team. And then Your Pace or Mine, which is myself, Mallory, Rachel, Anna, and Bree. And then the Goal Diggers, which is Julie, Kirsty, Angela, Morgan, and Katie. So as you're probably thinking like, okay, what is the purpose of a team captain? Like, I get that Kyla is my team captain, but what does that really mean? All that really means is that this person is kind of the facilitator of your team. So they are going to get together that Facebook group. It's just like how when you run an accountability group, everybody in the group is responsible for their own results and their own actions, but the coaches in that accountability group are sort of set the tone for, encouraging people to stay engaged and, sharing sort of tips and tricks as to how they stay on track, with the hopes that it will encourage all of your customers, clients, and other coaches in the group to do the same. That's the purpose of a team captain. So they will start your Facebook message thread or your Facebook group. They're going to help your team set specific goals, share ideas from trainings that they've watched. Your Team Cup captain might want to do like a weekly call with your team to kind of do, check-ins and stuff. That's totally up to your team. You need to get to know your team, and you need to help your team captain set the bar for your team. This bullet point at the bottom, I feel like, is the most important thing on the slide, and why I feel like it's really important to talk about teams and team captains. The only thing that you can control is how you show up, period. You are a part of a team, and you're supposed to be held accountable for the role that you're playing on that team, but you can't control if the other 4 people on your team show up. You just can't. The only thing you can control is how you are upholding your end of the bargain, essentially. And that's the same with your business in general. If you think about it, you can't control the outcome, but you can control the work that you're putting in every single day and how you are showing up for your customers, for inviting, for posting and sharing on social media and adding value to other people's lives, showing up in the team page, showing up to the team calls and the national wake-up calls. Those are the things that you can control. So you can't control if everybody on your team hits Success Club 5 so that you guys can have the exclusive celebrity trainer workout. You can't control that. But you can control if you hit Success Club and if your after picture for your business looks like what you hoped and intended it to look like at the end of the month. So while each team has a team captain, it is still all 5 members' responsibility to show up, to put in the work, to help encourage each other and motivate each other and to remind each other what the purpose of Team Cup really is. But in the end, all you can do is your part in showing up. So I just want everybody to kind of remember that, because it can get really discouraging if on your team of 5 people, if you and one other person are the only ones that are checking in the group and checking in the message thread and are, increasing your invites by 30 a day and sending, 25 more follow-ups a day and being consistent on social media and following a program from start to finish. And the other 3 on your team aren't doing anything. It is so easy to get frustrated and discouraged because they're not contributing to essentially a promise and a commitment that they made to the team. You cannot let that discourage you from moving your business forward, period. Because at the end of February, yes, this is a team effort, but your business is the one that you have control over moving forward. You have seen me post about this in our team page quite a few times, the Success Club System 1x3x5. This group starts on February 5th, which I believe is, yes, not tomorrow, but the next Monday is February 5th. They have changed the stipulations around how you get into this group. It was that you had to be on a Team Cup team and registered for Summit. However, now they will send you an invite to this group as long as you have a Summit ticket. So get registered for Summit, because being in this group that starts on February 5th is going to be incredibly helpful and useful for the month of Team Cup. The purpose of this group is to teach you how to hit Success Club and how to help 3 of your coaches hit Success Club, which gets you elite points and premier points and ultimately moves your business forward and allows your team to help more people. So it is kind of a pivotal moment in time that they are starting the Success Club 1x3x5 system training at the beginning and at the start of Team Cup, because they go so hand in hand with each other. So be sure, if you haven't registered for Summit, that you have, and be sure that you've gotten your email invite to the Success Club System 1x3x5 group. It's just hosted on Facebook. Now, this is something that your team captains will probably go over with you in a little bit more in depth, but I wanted to talk about it really quickly here, just to kind of give you all some things to start thinking about. During the month of Team Cup, you should always have something to invite to, always. If you start a group at the beginning of the month and then you have to spend the next 3 weeks of February inviting to a March group, you're going to lose a lot of customers because they don't want to start in 4 weeks. They want to start like now when they get their challenge pack. So I created a calendar that you can absolutely tweak to fit your needs, to fit your team's needs, talk about with your team captain and the rest of the girls on your team, and make it work for you. But this calendar, in my opinion, and just from my personal experience, not only always gives you something to invite to, but it gives you an option for everybody as far as, inviting to 80-day obsession, inviting to a 21-day kind of starter accountability group, multiple sneak peeks into accountability groups for the people who are kind of on the edge, at really strategic moments during the month so that we can still, get them their challenge packs and get them plugged in. Also really strategic sort of coach sneak peeks so that you can grow and build your team throughout the month of February as well. So I want to kind of just walk through some of the events and things on this calendar so that you can kind of wrap your head around why they make sense where they are. So today, Sunday, obviously we have our Team Cup planning call at 3. For those of you either co-leading the New Year Better You group, our team-led group, or if you're starting your own group tomorrow, maybe you have a kickoff call tonight at 8 p.m. or whenever, depending on your group starting. Tomorrow starts our New Year Better You co-led team accountability group, or whatever group you're starting. We also have team call tomorrow night that Rachel's going to be leading. I'm really excited about that, and I'll be sharing more about that in the team page in the morning with our graphic. Registration for Team Cup closes on Wednesday. So even though everybody on this call is registered, if you have signed a new coach or anything over the course of the past few days, they need to be on a Team Cup team. So what I want you to do is post in our team page and try to rally another team to get, your new coach on a team. If that's not working out, go to the Team Dynasty page and post in there, and we can find a team for these brand new coaches to get on, and then you can just have a one-on-one call with them to kind of explain the purpose of Team Cup. It's an amazing way for new coaches to really hit the ground running with their business. So next Monday, we will start a new coach prep school for some of the coaches that we've signed over the course of the past 2 weeks after our last coach sneak peek. We're going to be doing a kickoff call for that group of new coaches on next Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then they will start coach prep school on Monday. So kind of how this coach prep school thing is going to work is if you have signed a business building coach or a hobby coach over the course of the past couple weeks since we started our last coach prep school, you will post in the team page or respond to a post that I make in the team page and say that you have, 2 coaches to add, 3 coaches to add, whatever, and we will get them all added into a group. We'll do a kickoff call, and those coaches will go through the prep school all at the same time. So just kind of be on the lookout for a post in the team page, or like I said, if you've signed a coach or 2 and you want them to start coach prep school, post in the team page, and we will formulate a group and then get all of those coaches kind of started off on the right foot with their training. Next Monday night, obviously we have another team call. The content's not scheduled yet. And then Tuesday night, we're going to have a live sneak peek into accountability groups. And we'll talk more about this as the time comes, but I wanted to do one of these at the beginning of the month because that gives you like 2 full weeks before another challenge group starts to get them kind of interested and plugged in and get all their questions answered to get them into the next group. So we're going to do a live sneak peek next Tuesday. Of course, that next weekend is our team retreat. We moved those dates around a little bit just to kind of fit everybody's schedule. And then the next Monday night, we will do a 3-day coach sneak peek. So this is something that I've talked about with our mastermind group. We have kind of talked about doing this a couple different ways. And I think this month, this is how we're going to try it. So instead of doing like a live event, which we kind of decided was kind of daunting and overwhelming, and people kind of, if they couldn't show up for the live, 1-hour coach sneak peek webinar, then they didn't want to show up at all because the word live kind of like freaked them out a little bit. So we're going to try to do we tossed around a couple ideas. We tossed around just recording like a webinar video that we can just share with people, which is still something that we're going to do. But for the month of February, I want to run a 3-day coach sneak peek. So over the course of 3 days, from Monday to Wednesday, we'll have a Facebook group that everybody who's interested will be put into. And then different coaches will just go live in that Facebook group throughout the course of the 3 days talking about specific things. And then those people can just, those prospects can kind of just check in whenever and watch some of the videos. So the planning for all of these groups will happen as we get a little bit closer to time, but I want you all to have this calendar so that you can cross out things and circle things that you want to participate in so that as we get closer, you know when and what to be promoting for. So that will take up, Monday through Wednesday of that week. And then going into the next week, we will start hopefully a lot of, or some of you have an accountability group starting like tomorrow-ish. And then we will start another one in February that your Team Cup team specifically will lead together. So we can't do a team like a Dream Dynasty led accountability group because there would be 15 coaches on Team Cup teams leading one group, and that's just not really feasible. So you will be co-leading a challenge group with your Team Cup team. So your team captain will kind of help facilitate that. So that kickoff call, of course, will be on the 18th, the night before it starts. It will start on the 19th. 19th is also the day that we are going to start prep week for a team-led 80-day obsession group. 80-day obsession groups are much smaller customer-wise than a 21-day group because it's a bigger commitment. It's more of a commitment. So that is something that we can definitely do team-led. So prep week will start on the 19th, and then you'll see that on the 26th is when that group will actually start. So the idea here is that for the first 2.5 full weeks of February, you're inviting to either the 21-day Team Cup co-led challenge group or the team-led 80-day obsession accountability group. So you have somewhere to put either customer for the entire first half of February. Then once those groups get kicked off on the 19th, on the 20th, we're going to do another live sneak peek into accountability groups so that we can start working on customers who are interested in our next accountability group so that the last 2.5 weeks, or 2 weeks, I guess, of February, we still have something to invite to. I didn't want to start prep week for 80-day obsession and an accountability 21-day group on the 19th and then not have anything else to invite to for the rest of the month. So We're going to do a live sneak peek into accountability group so that the rest of that week of the 19th and the last week of February through the 28th, you still have something to invite to. You'll see down there on the 25th, we'll do our 80-day obsession kickoff call. 80-day obsession will officially start on the 26th, which is when we will start another round of coach prep school, because we will have done that coach sneak peek on the 12th. So work with me here and try to follow me. The 12th through the 14th, we have that coach sneak peek. So you will have the rest of that week, so the 15th and 16th, all the way through the 19th, to get those, to do follow-ups with everybody in the coach sneak peek, to touch base with them, to get them upgraded to a coach account, to send them the new coach manual, and then they can start their new coach training on the 26th. So that's kind of the process of that. And then you will see that the next Team Cup co-led challenge group will be on March 5th. So we'll have a group that starts on the 19th, and then the rest of that week and the last week of February, you can be inviting to that March 5th group. So I know that that is a lot. I know that it's overwhelming, and you probably are going to need to print this out and kind of go through and white out things that you aren't interested in participating in, and highlight and circle things that you are interested in participating in. And then of course work with your Team Cup team to kind of figure out, okay, so we have a group that's starting on the 19th. What are we going to name it? Okay, we're going to name it this. So everybody probably needs to have their challenge packs ordered by like the 14th. So we need to start promoting like on the 1st or whatever. I mean, I'm just making these dates up so that we have a full week and a half to promote for that group and get everybody in and ready to go. And then you'll coordinate your kickoff call and the posting in the group and all of that stuff. So that is kind of the thought behind all of that. There's 2 live sneak peeks into accountability groups to hopefully give some potential customers and clients an idea as to what a group looks like, and to get them they're kind of positioned in a way on the 6th and the 20th to give you enough time to follow up with those people to get them into a group before the end of the month. There is 2 3-day coach sneak peeks to hopefully help you advance in rank and get your customers from your group that's starting tomorrow or your group that starts on the 19th plugged in to a coach sneak peek, and then get them trained and things like that. So that's kind of the February calendar. It's a lot, and it's crazy, and it's hectic if you participate in all of these things, but hopefully the next couple slides will kind of help break it down for you a little bit, and then working with your team will help break it down a little bit too. I have set really big, super scary Success Club goals for the team for the month of February. Like I said, your Team Cup team will have specific goals, and then you'll have your own individual goals as well. But just for fun, I wanted us to try to shoot for Success Club 10 every single week. So that means by February 10th, you'll have already hit Success Club 10. By the end of the next week, Success Club 20, into the next week, 30, and then that last half week of February, 35. Those are big, super scary goals, but here's the thing, and we've talked about this before, if you don't set big, scary goals, you're not gonna work as hard. So why not set really big, scary goals, work as hard as you can with the intentions of accomplishing those goals, and then even if you don't hit them at the end of the month, your business is still going to be in a better place. So I put those little targets on there just to kind of be visual reminders for you, to remind yourself that you can hit Success Club 10 every single week with all of this opportunity for inviting and groups and working really closely with a smaller group of girls to accomplish the same thing. There's just a couple kind of resources at the bottom. Register for Coach Summit at coachsummit.com. Check in with your Team Cup team daily, either in the thread or group, depending on what your team captain establishes. I want you to shoot to sign 3 to 5 new coaches this month. This is why we're running 2 coach sneak peeks. Listen to the National Wake Up Call every Monday morning. The one tomorrow is going to be so good, you guys, if you follow Amy Silverman. If you don't, you should. I want you to check your online office every day, and I want you to get into that 1x3x5 Facebook group. These little tidbits at the bottom, like checking your back office every day and listening to the National Wake Up Call every week, those are things that we should be doing every day and every week in our business anyways, but maybe they're things that kind of get pushed to the wayside because we're not able to listen to the National Wake Up Call on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. So like, oh, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. Well, then it's the next week and there's a new National Wake Up Call and we never go back and listen to the one that we missed. So, or we don't check our back office every day to keep up with You know, you sent 10 links out yesterday and you don't check back in your back office today to see who's ordered so you know who to email, or who hasn't ordered so you know who to follow up with. So I just want us to kind of reestablish these new habits of National Wake Up Call, checking your back office, focusing on growing your team by signing new coaches, and making that a goal every month is to sign 3 to 5 new coaches. I once heard, not once heard, but I talked to a coach right when I started coaching. And she told me that if I could consistently hit Success Club 10 every month and add 5 new coaches to my team every single month, that I would have a 6-figure business in 12 months. Because that's what happened to her. She's like, I didn't do anything special. I just hit Success Club 10 every month, and I ran groups, and I signed 5 new coaches every month. And in 12 months, I was making more than my husband. And she stayed home and raised her babies. So just to kind of put a monetary value to what these really big, scary goals mean, like that's that. I want you to also think about the implications of hitting Success Club 30 in the month of February. If you hit Success Club 30 in the month of February, that's 15 people that you've helped. 15 people that you've gotten plugged into a group that you're helping get healthy. So then when they finish that group in March, that's 15 people who have hopefully gotten some results, who have hopefully created some lifestyle changes, and who hopefully want to do this business with you. Invite 15 of them to a sneak peek. Maybe 8 of them show up. Maybe you sign 5 new coaches in March. So break it. I want you to think about it like that. It's called the vital process. The more people you bring into an accountability group, the more people you're helping, the more lives you're changing, the greater your chances are of those people wanting to share this opportunity with other people. So just kind of think about it that way. And Success Club 30 is stinking scary. I've never hit it before. Even between my personal account, I don't know if you saw on the highest Success Club points I've ever gotten in a month is 24. I've gotten 20 to 24 between my 2 accounts pretty consistently, but this 30 number scares the crap out of me. And that's how I'm going to have to approach it. I'm going to have to approach it by, it's only 15 people. Like, out of all the invites I'm going to be sending and all the people I'm going to be following up with that I talked to 12 months ago and all the people I'm going to be connecting with, I only need 15 people to say they want to do this with me. That's it. So I want you to kind of break it down and think about it that way. Print this calendar out, go through it with your Team Cub team, talk about it with your team captain, and get a game plan in place. I just wanted to be able to provide you all, like I said, with kind of a game plan. If you are truly going all in with Team Cup, I really feel like this is a way to kind of maximize opportunity in the month of February. So it took me like 4 hours to put together because there was a lot of like, okay, well, you have to be really strategic on when you offer a live sneak peek into accountability groups, because then you need to be able to put those customers who want in somewhere. And then once they're in that group for a week and a half, then we need to invite them to a sneak peek. And then once they're in the sneak peek, then they need to start their training. And so hopefully this kind of gives you a good kind of baseline there. Okay, so this is just kind of a daily game plan that I came up with to kind of go hand in hand with that monthly game plan and that monthly marketing plan. If you want to hit Success Club 10 every week, these are just some things that I personally feel like you should be doing in order to hit big, scary goals like that, and things that I have at times consistently focused on and noticed a shift in my business. So work an extra hour every day. Add 10 to 20 people per day to your network. I know that that is a lot of people, but you need to be adding people to your network so that you can start building relationships and connecting with them. So the next month you can invite them. That is how this process works. You attract, you connect, you build and foster that relationship, and then you invite. That makes the inviting process easy because you have developed a friendship with somebody before you're just like, hey, you want to join this group? And they're like, I don't even know who you are. I haven't been following you. I haven't seen your journey. Like, why would I trust you enough to do this with you? So you need to increase that adding to the network number. Invite 50 people per day on top of your normal social media activity. So on top of commenting and liking other people's stuff and, having those private conversations in direct message and in Messenger with people, you need to be inviting 50 people per day. People that you've already made connections with, friends and family who you've never invited before. You're really going to have to work hard here. Take a photo of your invites or of the tracker that you're using and share it with your Team Cup group every single day. It's going to hold you accountable. If you know that at the end of every day, your Team Cup captain is going to be looking for your check-in with your trackers to see how many invites you sent and what all you did that day, then that's going to hold you more accountable. Invite to the coach sneak peeks. Invite the girls that are in your current accountability group. Go back through your list of old customers and invite them to the coach sneak peek. Even if you think somebody's not interested in the business opportunity, invite them anyways, because you don't know. You really just don't know. You need to make a game plan on when you will be announcing groups and when you will begin inviting to groups. So you have this really awesome calendar with all these really fancy things on them. You need to kind of reverse engineer it in a way to ensure that you are promoting the group with enough time to get people plugged in, with enough time to invite to it. Maybe, for example, I'm just going to throw some dates out here for the February 19th group that you're going to be co-leading with your Team Cup team. Maybe you start preseason like on the Wednesday before or something. I don't know. I know everybody kind of does their preseason a little bit differently now with our new website. So let's say that the Wednesday the 14th is the deadline that you have personally set to get all of your people plugged in. And so that they can get their challenge pack hopefully like sometime the first of the week. There's enough resources on our Challenger website to get somebody started in a challenge group without their pack. We have container equivalents with like a purple is 1 cup so they can measure out all their food. They have access to Beachbody On Demand and the accountability group. They just don't have their Shakeology yet. So let's say that this is the deadline that you sent and you feel comfortable having a full 2 weeks to invite to an accountability group. Maybe that is just kind of what you have figured out is like the amount of time that you need in order to fill that group up. So we're going to count backwards for 2 weeks. So here's half a week, here's a full week, here's another half a week. So maybe you decide that on Thursday, February 1st, you're going to announce the February 19th group. That enrollment has opened for February 19th group. So maybe you, I don't know, maybe you just do that on your stories that day. And then maybe on Monday morning, and maybe you send some invites this weekend, and then maybe on Monday morning you make your post about it on your page, and that gives you a full week and a half to kind of breadcrumb, you know, here and there, and maybe you go back through the group that's starting tomorrow and you show some results, or you scroll through the feed and you show how everybody's interacting, and you know, you guys know what I'm talking about, like how you breadcrumb your accountability groups through your stories and through your posts. So that will give you a full 2 weeks to be able to do that if you started promoting on the 1st. So just kind of think backwards as far as when you need to start promoting and inviting and all of that really fun stuff. Same kind of thing with like the 3-day coach sneak peek. So if you're starting an accountability group tomorrow, our sneak peek starts on Monday the 12th. So at that point, all the girls in your group that starts tomorrow will be starting their 3rd week of the accountability group. Hopefully they're seeing some results by then and loving the process. So you'll invite all your girls from this group into your coach sneak peek. They'll do that for 3 days, and then we can get them all set up to start their new coach prep school a week later. So it's the same kind of reverse engineering process as far as planning and promoting your groups for sure. Share on social media multiple times a day. You should be sharing about the business in some capacity at least 3 times a week. I really think and subconsciously try to share about the business every single day, something, whether it's my workout, whether it's a call, whether it is the freedom it's provided me with, or something. I share something about the business every single day, but you need to be shooting for at least 3 times a week. People need to know that like this is your jam. This isn't just something that you're doing or some fad or whatever. They need to know that like you live and breathe this opportunity because of what it's done for you physically, mentally, emotionally, and just your life in general. You should be sharing accountability, being a product of the product every single day. Your workout selfie, like there's something. You should be using your social media as an accountability system. And that is ultimately what forced me to start really becoming a product of the product. Vital behaviors, this is a non-negotiable, something that we talk about all the time. I want you to reflect on these questions. What program are you doing? What day are you on? Are you really using Portion Fix? If you're not doing 80-Day Obsession right now, there's a good chance that maybe your nutrition isn't quite where you know it should be in order to truly be, you know, being a product of the product. Or maybe even if you are doing 80-Day Obsession. This does not mean you guys, and this is something that we talked about in our mastermind call last week that just totally like slapped me in the face, and something that I have like a huge sticky note over here to be sure that I implement in my group that starts tomorrow and that I talk about in our kickoff call tonight. It does not mean that you're perfect. It doesn't mean that you don't ever have pizza or chips and queso or margarita or whatever. Maybe you have those things 3 or 4 times a week. That is fine. All it means is that on an like 80% of the time, you're doing your best and you're following like Portion Fix, or you're being intentional about what you're fueling your body with in order to get results with our programs. That's all it means. It does not mean that you are perfect. And then, are you drinking Shakeology? Of course. So if the answer to one of these questions is, I'm not doing a program, so I'm not on any day, and oh, I don't even know where my containers are at, and I skipped last month of Shakeology, so I'm not doing that either. If your answers to some of these maybe look familiar to some of those, I want you to kind of take a step back and really ask yourself if you're being a product of the product. Inviting, how many invites are you sending every single day? That will kind of go into the tracker that you're using. We've already talked about that. Personal development. Your team captain may or may not ask the entire team to read or listen to the same book so that you're all kind of focusing on the same behaviors and mindset. But if not, you should be reading or listening to something. And does it contribute towards your goals for February? For example, in our mastermind group, we are reading, I don't have it here, but the 10X rule. That totally fits in with Team Cup, right? We're going to be 10Xing everything. We're sending more invites. We're sharing our story more and in different ways, and we're running multiple groups at the same time, which can get complicated and confusing. But in order to see massive success, we have to take massive action. And so really think about if the personal development that you're doing is really contributing to your overall goal for February. And then recognition, of course. Who are you recognizing this month and why? Even if that means recognizing yourself. Some action steps that I kind of thought aligned with the scariness that is all of this planning for February. I found this really useful. I want you to share what this month will be with your family. So print this calendar out, sit down with your spouse or whoever it is that, you know, participates in your daily household and that you feel like you need to share this with. And I want you to say, look, February is going to be a little crazy. I'm probably going to be waking up a little bit earlier. I might be going to bed a little bit later. I might have to be on my phone a little bit more. And this will look different for everybody. You guys, you know the boundaries that you need to set for yourself as far as your business and your personal life are concerned. This is just some examples of conversation that you might need to have, just so that they understand. Like, this is not how it's always going to be. But for February, I'm on this team and we have some really big goals, and it's going to take me doing X, Y, and Z. So I just want you to know, and I want to be upfront about it so that like you can support me and so that you understand and, you know, you get the gist. I want you to stay engaged on your team's Facebook message thread or Facebook group, whatever your team captain sets up. It is so important, you guys, even like our basic team page or, you know, whatever. It's so important that you stay engaged in these little micro groups because they're there for a reason. It's not just so that you get more notifications in a day or that you have one more thing that you need to check in on. They're there for a reason. So be sure you're staying engaged. Share everything on social media. How your program is going, how the nutrition plan is going. What does your nutrition look like? What will you be doing next? Share moves from your workout on your Instagram stories and on your social media. Use curiosity marketing to force people to ask you what in the heck it is that you're doing. I don't want you to annoy people with your social media, but it's so important that you're showing different facets of how pressing play every day and these vital behaviors and how this weird time nutrition thing is like different than, you know, other nutrition plans, but this is kind of what it looks like. Those little breadcrumbs and those sneak peeks is what is going to force people to be interested in what you're doing. If you don't sort of use curiosity marketing and like breadcrumb those little tidbits, people are going to think that you're like, how many people do you know that like go to the gym every once in a while, like once a month they post like a gym selfie, and then like the next day they post that they're eating pizza? Like, you don't think anything, like maybe they're inconsistent, maybe they're yo-yo dieters, like I don't know. You're probably not going to reach out to that person and ask them to help you. It's why it's important for, especially in the month of February, for you to document the journey that you're on. even if that means eating pizza on Friday night, but then showing how, or Thursday night, and showing how you get up on Friday and you still press play and you drink your Shakeology and you're getting back on track, because that's what this process is all about. And that's why it's important to breadcrumb every single part of your journey in some capacity. You can use incentives. That's another action step that some of us have found to be really helpful. You can offer a prize or like a little gift card or something for those that commit to one of your groups. Build up your groups as like this exclusive, like really, I mean, our groups are really awesome, don't get me wrong, but just share that you want go-getters. You want people who are ready to change their lives, take action, take control. Like, this is who you're looking for. And you want this type of person. Think about your avatar. Think about your avatar. Speak to that person. Speak to the full-time teacher that wants to stay at home with her kids, or the new mom who's 3 months postpartum, who you've seen her post about just wanting to like feel like herself again, or to be able to go out with her friends, but she has a newborn at home. She can find that community in your group. Speak to that person, and build up your group as like this exclusive opportunity for the person that you're speaking to be a part of. I want you to follow up with every single person that you have ever talked to about a group that never committed. Even if they ignored your message, even if they said no, even if they didn't act interested, even if they said check back in April, like, I don't care what they said. Follow up with every single person. And then one of the most important parts, and I'm going to share a resource with you all for this one in just a second, track your invites and your follow-ups. This will not only be good, I will say that tracking is probably the part of my business that falters the most. Like, the area of my business that needs the most work is tracking. I'm not great at it. I'm totally one of those that will just scroll and scroll and scroll through Facebook messages and through DMs on Instagram to find people that I need to follow up with. It's not effective. It's not efficient. You waste more time during your power hour doing that than if you would just track your invites and your follow-ups in the first place. So we'll talk about trackers in just a second, but I just want you to be aware that you should be tracking everything. And it'll be a good way for you to share with the group what you're doing if you track. So this resource right here, I don't know how to do this. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So this resource right here is on our website. If you go to, I think it's under tools and training, and then documents and templates, it's some trackers. There are a ton of trackers on here. You're not going to need all of them, but I want you to go through them and figure out which ones you think you can use. So if you need like a monthly action plan to go along with that calendar, go for it. If you need a daily plan, so like, I really love these trackers, you guys. If you know that typically you do your power hour in the morning, you know that in the month of February, you're going to need to work your business for an extra hour. This will keep you on track. Check your office. Do you need to check in on any trainings or the team page? Check in with your challenge group, reply to all the comments and likes that were on your pictures from yesterday, message them, comment on 3 or more posts, send 3 messages of encouragement, add 3 new friends, invite 3 to a challenge group, invite 3 to coaching, follow up with 3 people. Of course, we're kind of 10Xing all of this for the month of February, but this is just a really good system for you to make sure that you're kind of covering all of your bases. It also allows you over here to track your personal development, your self-care. Did you drink your Shakeology? Did you do your workout? There's a gratitude box right here. Today I'm grateful for, whatever. 3 things that you must get done today. I really love this. You can kind of plan out, in the morning during my power hour, I'm going to do these things. On my lunch break, I'm going to try to get this done. And then after the kids go to bed, I'm going to do this. And this is what I'm going to post about today. So just kind of a way for you to, this one's kind of the same way, like you check off as you go. Same thing with these. These are all just different forms, and they're just situated in a way that is just going to be conducive to your personality. But at the end of this document, there are trackers for probably what you'll be using the most. A contact list. So just people who maybe you've connected with, things that you've talked about. Have you invited them? If so, on what day? There is a friends added list. So as you're adding new people, you can use this one. Challenger prospects. So people who maybe you've already started to form and build that relationship with. Have you talked to them about a challenge group? What was the last day that you talked to them? Have you followed up with them? coach prospects. So these are current or past customers, anybody, you know, in a current challenge group, or just somebody that you've connected with on social media that you feel like would really be able to take advantage of the coaching opportunity in some way. Free leads, you'll get those once you become an Emerald and you hit Success Club. And then you can track your challengers. I mean, just really cool ways for you to be able to keep track of who you're talking to. Like I said, you absolutely do not have to use those trackers. I just want you all, it's something that I added to our website a little bit later than when we initially launched the website. So I just wanted you all to be aware of them. These are some trainings that were shared and some references that were shared in the 1x3x5 group on Facebook. It doesn't officially start until February 5th, but it wasn't Jeff Hill. Who was it? Somebody went live in that group earlier last week. If you're in that group, maybe you saw it, with some of these kind of key foundational trainings that they felt like were really important for hitting Success Club. So I'm pretty sure, let's click on one to see, but I'm pretty sure that all of these are Beachbody trainings that are in your back office anyways. Yeah, they are. So this is like best practices on social media, stuff like that. All of this stuff corporate provides to all of you guys in your back office. I just wanted to kind of put them in one spot. So social media best practices, how to expand your network. This is going to be a really important one for a lot of us. The inviting process, so how to really attract, connect, and then invite. How to use Share a Card if you haven't used that yet, challenge group overviews, and then there's also some memory joggers and some contact list trackers here, and then of course the Team Beachbody Cup page as well. So just some resources for you all to use. Like I said, these slides will be shared with you in your Team Cup group. And then to wrap it all up, I love Grant Cardone in general, but this quote I feel like really kind of hits this whole Team Cup idea home. Let the rest do whatever while you do whatever it takes. And that is so truly what Team Cup is. Yes, you're part of a team. Yes, it's everybody's responsibility to uphold the commitment that they're making to the team. But at the end of the day, you just need to focus on doing the things, the business activities and the daily activities that you know need to get done in order to move your business forward. And that is the bottom line, what it comes down to. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever that means for yourself, for your business, for your family, for, you know, whatever it means, that's what you need to focus on. And I just really want us to understand Team Cup as more than just this 28-day challenge that we're presented with to try to get as many points as possible in the month of February, because those points correlate to lives changed. And the more lives we can change in the month of February, the more likely we are to find our people and find our tribe and to find those few like little nuggets of ladies that like give us life and that focus on their journey and sharing it with you. And that's what Team Cup is all about. And all you can control is the work that you're doing. So I will open it up. We have about 10 minutes before I wanted to like really be done here. For anybody have any questions? If you have not been added to a Team Cup Facebook group or a message thread, like the girls on my team yet, that will happen shortly. I know Kyla has already made her group. I'm not sure if Julie has yet, but I haven't. Julie hasn't either. Okay, good. I texted Kyla earlier and I was like, have you made your group yet? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, shit. But I've been out of town, so I'm totally just going to fall back on that as my excuse. But that will get done soon. The first of the month is, somehow I can't believe it, on Thursday. So we really need to get in those groups and start planning and chatting and getting everything ready to go. So other than that, does anybody have any questions specifically? I will share this recording and all of the slides with your team captain, and they will share it with everybody. So you'll have access to all of this. Does anybody have any questions in the meantime? Fabulous. Well, I'm so excited for February, like super, super excited. If anything comes up, let me know. And I'm hopeful, I'll talk with Julie and Kyla about this, but I'm hopeful that even though we're going to be like in our own little pods of Team Cups, We're still going to be talking, you know, as team captains to be able to come up with ideas and strategize and, you know, find ways to keep everybody engaged and to help everybody hit their goals. But we can do a big call like this maybe halfway through the month or something to kind of check in with everybody and just share ideas as a team and as a group. But I'm super excited. I hope you all are too. And I think that's it. 9 minutes early. Yay. But I'll be sharing all of this recording and everything with everybody. So just be on the lookout with that. So I will talk to you all soon. Bye.